Today, we're diving into a topic that has been an absolute game changer for me in my own life: waking up early. I wasn't always a morning person. I love my sleep, and I used to do all I could do to sleep in. I was all about the blackout curtains, the sleep mask, anything that would keep that morning light from waking me up. But my mornings were also absolutely chaotic, trying to get myself ready in between getting the kids ready, making breakfast, making sure everyone had what they needed, and getting out the door on time. By the time I got to work, I felt like I ran a marathon, and not in that fulfilling way. Waking up early has seriously changed my life, and I'm hoping by the end of this episode that you're motivated to start waking up a little earlier tomorrow. And Mama, I know your mornings probably feel like a blur of alarms, lost shoes, reheated coffee, and rushing out the door while juggling work, lunch boxes, and possibly a meltdown or two. Yours or the kids, no judgment there, but that's exactly why I created something just for you. I'm hosting a live 1 hour workshop called Mornings Made Simple, where I'll walk you through my rise and shine method, the exact steps I use every single day to go from chaos to calm before my house wakes up. This method is designed for working moms with full plates, big goals, and no time to waste. It's not about adding more to your do list. It's about creating a routine that gives you time for you, and it sets the tone for a focused, joyful day. If you've been telling yourself, I just need a better routine, or I wish I had more time for myself in the morning, this workshop is your answer. And here's the best part: everyone on the waitlist gets an exclusive discount. So scroll down to those show notes, tap that link, and get your name on there. Now, let's jump into today's episode because you deserve mornings that feel good and days that start on your terms. Are you feeling overwhelmed trying to juggle all the many hats you wear as a working mom? Do you want more quality time with your family without distraction of work, and time alone to take care of yourself and your needs? Welcome to Mom Wife Career Life. I'm Carrie, a wife, mom of three, and a recovering perfectionist. In this podcast, I will teach you how to create balance in your life by implementing healthy habits, organizing your home and your schedule, being intentional with your time and in your relationships, and most importantly, how to start putting your needs first, because no one can pour from an empty cup. Grab that second cup of coffee, or if you're anything like me, your third. It's time to dive into today's episode of Mom Wife Career Life. I know what you're thinking. I'm barely surviving it as it is. How am I supposed to wake up early and keep my sanity? Trust me, I've been there, but I've also lived through the years of having a morning routine that I love and now cherish. I'm just getting fully back into my morning routine after being on vacation, then daylight savings time, and then I was sick. And those days where I let myself just sleep because I knew my body needed it, but it completely threw my day off. You could just look at my paper planner and know the days where I wasn't fully myself because I didn't have the time to focus on what my priorities should be for the day, which my morning routine is totally where I do that. I fill out my day and my time block. And when I wasn't able to focus on my priorities, I didn't have time to work on my side stuff. I didn't prioritize working out. I didn't prioritize eating healthy. Not getting up threw off my entire self-care and productivity ecosystem that I had going on. But I gave myself grace because I knew that my body needed the extra sleep. But as soon as I started feeling better, that alarm went right back to 4:20 because I know that it is my optimal wake up time to get all that I want to get done in the morning completed before I have to go into mom mode. And before you get your panties in a twist, isn't that a funny saying, by the way? I have to look it up to see where that came from, and I don't know why that just came out of my mouth. But anyway, I'm not about to try to convince you to start getting up that early. Your mornings are unique to your needs, and that's something that I teach in this workshop. Part of my morning routine is a 1.5 hour power hour for my side hustle, because that's where I work on my podcast, where I work on building my digital courses, where I take digital courses, and I work on my professional growth. But again, that is my morning routine. Your morning routine is unique to you. But today, I'm here to share why waking up early might just be the secret weapon that you've been looking for. Plus, I'll give you practical tips on how to make it work for you. So grab your coffee, tea, or whatever's fueling your body today, and let's get into it. We're going to start with talking about the benefits of waking up early, which I know we touched on a couple of weeks ago, but it's just so important. The first thing is quiet time for you. And this is my favorite part. Waking up early gives you something most moms only dream of: uninterrupted time. No kids asking where the shoes are, no emails pinging, no one needing anything from you, just peace and quiet. Imagine sipping your hot coffee while journaling, meditating, or simply just sitting in silence. I'm telling you, it is pure heaven. Number two, it gives you a head start on your day. When you're up before all that chaos starts, you're in control. You're setting the tone for your day instead of letting your day take control of you, whether it's planning out your to do list, fitting in a quick workout, or just mentally preparing for what's ahead. That head start can make all the difference. Me filling out my Clever Fox journal every morning seriously just helps me know what to focus on that day, and checking those top three priorities off just mentally makes me feel so great at the end of the day. Number three, boosted productivity. Ever notice how much more you can accomplish when there's no one interrupting you? Early mornings are perfect for focused, high energy tasks. Whether you're working on a personal project, you want to do your meal planning for the week, or you really want to start that side passion, those early hours can be so super productive. Number four, time for self care. Let's be real, moms. Self care often gets shoved to the bottom of our list, but waking up early can be that change that you need. It's your chance to exercise, to read a book, maybe do a face mask, or really just even breathe without feeling guilty. It's your time. And I challenge you to really think of something that you could do for yourself in the morning that would actually get you excited to get up. And maybe it is that uninterrupted hot cup of coffee or tea, but maybe it's something bigger and deeper. Now that the warmer temps are starting to roll in, which thank God, because every year the winters are getting harder and harder. Winter blues is a real thing, mamas. I had it bad this season, but on warm mornings, I love having a hot cup of coffee on my porch and just listening to the birds. I actually made it a point this past week to take a break and read a little on my porch because the sun was out and the temperature was perfect, like tank top weather. My break didn't last that long, but just getting up and getting that vitamin D, sunlight does such great things for your body. So if you can get out in the morning, even if you have littles, just going in your backyard or opening the window and sticking your head out, it's such a great form of self care. And last, improve mood. There's something about starting your day intentionally with time for yourself that sets you up for a better mood all day long. It's like telling yourself, I matter, I'm worth prioritizing. And guess what? You'll feel more patient, less stressed, and more present with your family. Hopefully, I've sold you on the why you should get up early, but let's talk about how to actually make this happen without turning into a sleep deprived zombie. First, start small. If you're used to waking up at 7 o'clock, don't just suddenly try to get up at 5 o'clock. Start with 15-minute increments. Wake up at 6:45 for a week, then 6:30, and then so on. It's all about baby steps. But if you are finding it easier to get out of bed, then you don't have to wait a full week to make the adjustment. You can make it when you feel your body is ready. Second, create a good bedtime routine. This one's huge. You can't wake up early if you're staying up until midnight binge watching Netflix. No judgment, we've all been there, but aim to wind down at least 30 minutes before you go to bed with something relaxing like reading or stretching. And you should still be aiming to get your 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night. So if you're adjusting your wake up time by 15 minutes, you should be adjusting your bedtime by the same amount. I'm in bed by 9 o'clock every night, sometimes earlier. My kids are a little older and my girls stay up way later than I do, but I do want them up in their rooms by the time I'm going to bed. But sometimes they're still doing homework or chatting with their friends. And yes, I do let them chat with their friends a little later at night. I'm starting to loosen my parenting reins on them and letting them figure things out on their own. Ash is going to be away at college in a little over a year and a half, and I'm not going to be in her dorm room making her go to bed. Heck, I won't even have control of whether or not she's even in her dorm room, which is so scary to think about. But that's why it's important to loosen those rules a bit while they're still living under your roof to see how they adjust and help them navigate a little from the sidelines. Now, Kaylee does reap the benefits of sharing a room with an older sister because it means a little less looser rules for her too. But I do remind her that she's 2 years younger and that not all the same rules apply to her. But back to the bedtime routine. I have an episode dedicated to creating a nighttime routine that you could check out. It is episode number 11. I'll link it in the show notes. It's End Your Days with Calm Instead of Chaos, 10 tips for a better nighttime routine. So check it out. Number 3, set up your morning the night before. Whatever you can do the night before to make your mornings easier, do it. Lay out your clothes, prep your coffee, have a plan for what you want to do with that extra time. A huge chunk of my morning routine happens at my desk. That's where I pray. It's where I meditate. It's where I work on my planner, where I do my reading, where I do my power hour, hour and a half of work. So I make sure everything is laid out and ready to go. I remove any friction, and this is what's called habit stacking. And it allows me to go from one task to the next without skipping a beat. No distractions to throw me off. And do the same for your kids. And better yet, teach your kids to do the same for themselves, to pick out their clothes the night before, to have their bags packed, their Chromebooks charged, maybe even their water bottles filled and their lunches packed. It's just a great habit to get into. Number 4, have a why. Remember why you're doing this. Maybe it's because you want to have more patience with your kids. Maybe it's to start working on that side hustle or passion that will give you both time and financial freedom. Or maybe it's simply to just feel like you again. Keep that why front and center. My why has become all of you. When I sit and I look at my podcast analytics and I see the number of mamas listening and the number of countries you are all tuning in from across the globe, when I get a DM pop up in my inbox from you telling me what a difference my podcast is making in your life, that's what gets me out of bed. Knowing that there is even just one mom in the world having a rough day, feeling guilty, feeling like they're failing, and then they hear my voice telling them that they are doing an amazing job and to give themselves grace, and they feel just a little bit better about themselves, and that they are not alone, and that this too shall pass. That is my why. And I could keep going on, but that is a perfect segue into number 5. Give yourself grace. I say it all the time, and I hope anytime you're feeling bad about yourself that my voice comes into your head saying, give yourself grace. Not every morning will be perfect, and that's okay. If you sleep in one day, or you just know that your body needs the rest like I knew my body needed last week, don't beat yourself up. Just try again tomorrow. And if you don't get up tomorrow, then try again the next day. Just don't give up when you have a few bad days. It's progress over perfection. But I promise you, the more consistent you are, the easier it gets. And once you make getting up early a habit, you are going to love the positive domino effect it has on the rest of your day. And it will become your motivation for getting up. And start small. Start with baby steps. Try waking up just 15 minutes earlier tomorrow and use that time to do something that fills your cup. Journal, stretch, pray, or just enjoy the silence. Whatever you choose, make it intentional, and then pay attention to how you feel for the rest of the day. And if you're brave enough, take a picture of your early morning routine, maybe yourself sitting there with that hot cup of coffee, enjoying every sip, and tag me on Instagram at mom.wife.career.life. I would love to cheer you on. Waking up early might feel impossible at first, but I promise you, it's so worth it. It's not just about being productive. It's about reclaiming time for you because you deserve it. You're an amazing mom, and when you take care of yourself, you're even better for everyone around you. If you love this episode, don't forget to subscribe, hit that follow button, share it with a friend, and leave me a review. It helps more moms like you find this podcast. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom Wife Career Life with Carrie Pat. Before you go, if you found this podcast helpful, I would be so grateful if you would take a minute, go on over to iTunes, and leave me a review. If you have other stressed out mamas in your life that you feel this podcast could help, take a screenshot of this episode, post it on your Instagram stories, and tag me, and let them know that they are not alone and they can create balance in their life too. If there's a topic you'd like me to cover or you just want to connect, DM me on Instagram at mom.wife.career.life. Or come on over and hang out in our free Facebook community, Work-Life Balance for Working Moms. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom Wife Career Life with Carrie Pat.